As the probe into Sushant Singh Rajput's death deepens, heat mounts on Sushant's girlfriend, Rhea Chakravarti. A team of CBI officials is now likely to question Rhea today. This comes 3 days after the CBI began its investigation into this high-profile case. So far, CBI has questioned Sushant's flatmate, his cook, his house help, and has recreated the whole chain of events at Sushant's Bandra apartment. CBI team will now put direct questions to prime suspect Rhea Chakravarti on chain of events surrounding Sushant's death and exactly why she left Sushant's house on the 8th of June, just 6 days before he died. In fact, Rhea in her statement earlier claimed that Sushant had called his sister to his house and asked her to leave on the 8th of June before his sister arrived. But her WhatsApp messages with Mahesh Bhatt reveals that she left the Bandra flat on her own. Remember, Rhea Chakravarti has been charged with abatement to suicide, theft, cheating, among other charges. Rhea's lawyer earlier had said that all these charges levelled against Rhea by Sushant Singh Rajput's family are an afterthought. Now, the Central Bureau of Investigation there is likely to grill Sushant Singh Rajput's cook Neeraj, flatmate Siddharth Pitani, and also house help Dipesh Sawant. They're going to be grilled again today. This comes right after the probe agency has been continuously grilling the trio for 2 days now at the late actor's apartment there and the makeshift CBI office at DRDO guest house where the CBI is functioning out of. The probe agency will question the 3 witnesses about the sequence of events which took place between June 6th and 12th when Rhea Chakravarti left the actor's apartment. On Sunday, the CBI officials took Dipesh, Siddharth and Neeraj to Sushant's flat to recreate the entire crime scene. In fact, sources have told India Today that the statements of Siddharth and Neeraj contradicted each other during questioning. The CBI officials are aggressively grilling them to gather evidence before summoning Rhea as well on this.
Day 3 of CBI's Sushant probe. And under lens of the probe agency are the late actor's flatmate and house staff. At around 9:20 a.m., Sushant's flatmate Siddharth Pitani entered the makeshift SIT office for the 3rd round of questioning. After around 45 minutes, Sushant's cook Neeraj too entered the DRDO facility. Sushant's domestic help Dipesh Sawant was too summoned by the probe agency for questioning. Then came the big revelation. Sources told India Today that the CBI found glaring inconsistencies in the testimonies given by Neeraj, Siddharth and Dipesh. The statements by the 3 witnesses on what happened in the run-up to Sushant's death on June 14th were full of contradictions. More than 2 hours later, the CBI team was at Sushant's flat again, with Pitani, Neeraj and Dipesh.
कल जिस तरीके से डमी लेकर सीबीआई की टीम आई थी, फॉरेंसिक एक्सपर्ट आए थे, आज भी वही प्रक्रिया अपनाई जा रही है। लेकिन ये समझना होगा कि वो 3 किरदार जो मौके वारदात पर मौजूद थे, जिसमें नीरज, दीपेश सावंत और सिद्धार्थ पिठानी थे, वो उनको लेकर यहाँ पर आना, कल भी आना और यहाँ पर भी आना, जाहिर सी बात है कुछ बयानों में विरोधाभास है। ऐसा लगता है कि जो मुंबई पुलिस को बयान इन तीनों ने दिया था, वो सीबीआई के बयानों में मेल नहीं खाता है।
The forensic experts team once again recreated the crime scene inside the room where Sushant was found dead.
CBI has not yet recorded Rhea Chakrabarti's statement and they want to confront her with all the facts. There are stories coming out about inconsistencies in the statements which are being given by the witnesses, but at this point of time CBI is at the task at Sushant Singh Rajput's house.
After more than 3 hours, the CBI team along with the 3 witnesses left Sushant's flat.
Now in the second leg of questioning, the trio will be asked about what happened between June 6th and June 12th so that they can have a better understanding why Rhea left Sushant's residence and if anyone out of these 3 was in touch with Rhea Chakravarti. If yes, then why? They also want to understand is that if Sushant Singh Rajput had changed his behavior after Rhea Chakravarti left his residence. Now the next action of Central Bureau of Investigation will be to question Riya Chakravarti, which may take place on Monday. With camera person Prashant Bhatt, this is Munish Pandey in Mumbai for India Today.
Now, cutting across to the Congress's clamour, the working committee there, the Congress working committee is all scheduled to meet at 11 a.m. today amid all the huddle up of complete organizational overhaul that the Congress plans to do now. This comes a day after sources in the party told India Today that Sonia Gandhi is ready to step down as the Congress interim chief. However, the party in its official response denied Sonia's exit reports as well and stated that she has not spoken or even written to anyone about stepping down as yet. The CWC meeting also comes in the backdrop of several party heavyweights writing to Sonia Gandhi demanding a clear-cut mechanism to govern the party with an effective central leadership. The letter that was written a fortnight ago triggered leadership debate within the party. In fact, senior leaders like Salman Khurshid and chief ministers of Congress-ruled states of Punjab, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan have thrown their weight behind the Gandhi family.
Dramatic developments in the Congress party, hours after it was reported that top party leaders have written to interim chief Sonia Gandhi seeking a full organizational overhaul. Sources told India Today that Sonia Gandhi, in her formal reply to the letter, said she is willing to step down as the party chief and that a new party leader should be chosen. However, Congress officially denied reports of Sonia Gandhi expressing her wish to hang her boots. Congress spokesperson Randeep Singh Surjewala stated, Sonia Gandhi has neither spoken to any leader nor has she written to anyone about stepping down. The drama unfolded after 23 top party leaders, including CWC members, members of parliament and former ministers in the UPA regime, wrote to the Congress president. Sources say the letter sent a fortnight ago seeks an effective central leadership that is active and also visible on the ground, and also elections to top party positions. The letter claims the revival of the Congress is a national imperative needed for the health of democracy. As the letter reignited leadership debate within the Congress, senior leader like Salman Khurshid, Punjab Chief Minister Captain Amarinder Singh and Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel reposed their faith in the Gandhi family leadership.
Each one of us is very clear that we have a leadership that we admire, that we respect, that we believe in, and as long as we have that leadership, I see no reason why anyone should be talking about a crisis.
Suspended party leader Sanjay Jha, however, echoed Priyanka Gandhi's call for a non-Gandhi family Congress chief.
I do believe that the time has come for us to actually go ahead and push forward the proposition of a fair election. And if a non-Gandhi is elected as the Congress president, I'm very confident, as I'm sure are the other colleagues of mine, it will be good for the Congress party.
All eyes are now on the crucial CWC meeting on Monday. Sources say the meeting, while stormy, will decide the fate of Congress at crossroads.
The Congress party has been in a disarray since the Lok Sabha poll debacle. The leadership is running in circles in its hunt for a Congress president. With the battle lines drawn, the Congress Working Committee is up for fireworks. With video journalist Shakil Ahmed, this is Mosmi Singh in Delhi for India Today.
Now, chorus grows louder for rescheduling of NEET and JEE examinations, even as the Modi government has assured students that the upcoming NEET and JEE exams will be held while maintaining social distancing. In fact, NEET exams will be held on September 13th, while JEE will be held on the 1st to 6th of September. A majority of students have demanded rescheduling of examinations, citing the coronavirus pandemic. However, there is a section of students who want the exams to be held. Supreme Court on August 17th had cancelled a petition seeking postponement of NEET exams. However, opposition parties, including Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party, are demanding that the centre rethink on conducting examinations amid this coronavirus case spike.
मैं आपके चैनल के माध्यम से भी केंद्र सरकार से अपील करना चाहता हूं कि ये अच्छी बात है कि हम एकेडमिक्स पर सोच रहे हैं पर एकेडमिक्स में बच्चे जाएं, आईआईटी में जाएं, इंजीनियरिंग क्लासेस में जाएं या मेडिकल क्लासेस में जाएं, उसके लिए जेईई और नीट की परीक्षाएं करा के ही हम इंजीनियरिंग या मेडिकल में एडमिशन देंगे, ये थोड़ी जिद है। इस जिद पे ना रहें। आप कह रहे हो हम बच्चों को स्कूल में बुलाएंगे, कॉलेज में बुलाएंगे, उनके एग्जामिनेशन सेंटर पे बुलाएंगे। अगर 1000 बच्चे भी एग्जामिनेशन सेंटर पे आए और वहां अगर 50-60 बच्चों को भी पॉजिटिव हुआ, आप दुनिया का जो प्रोटोकॉल बना लीजिए वो फैलेगा। आप क्यों बच्चों की जान से खेलना चाहते हो?
मेरे हिसाब से जो हम लोग एकदम कंटिन्यूअस प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं और मतलब हम लोग अपने हिसाब से प्रिपेयर किए जा रहे हैं, तो अगर जितना स्ट्रेच होता जाएगा एग्ज़ाम, उतना हम लोगों पे ही प्रेशर बढ़ रहा है और चिंता बढ़ते जा रही, पता नहीं क्या होगा। तो अगर अभी एग्ज़ाम हो जाएगा तो सही भी रहेगा, हम लोग पे स्ट्रेस कम होगा, हम लोग तैयार भी हैं अब, तो दे सकते हैं एग्ज़ाम। और बाकी तो इतना तो हमको श्योर है कि अगर गवर्नमेंट इतना कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ एग्ज़ाम रखवा रहा है तो ऑब्वियसली तैयारियाँ होंगी, तो सही है मेरे हिसाब से एग्ज़ाम रखना सितंबर में, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है।
Moving on to Advocate Prashant Bhushan's deadline to tender an unconditional apology to the Supreme Court ends today. Bhushan was convicted by the Apex Court for criminal contempt over his contentious tweets against the judiciary there, as well as the Chief Justice of India, S.A. Bobde. In the last hearing on August 20th, the Supreme Court had granted time till today to the activist cum lawyer to reconsider his statement while rejecting his plea seeking quantum of punishment there that be decided by another bench. In fact, the court also rejected his submission seeking deferment of the hearing until he files his review plea against its verdict by convicting. In fact, the verdict of convicting him at all. Prashant Bhushan there may just face imprisonment of up to 6 months or a fine or both as well. The court on August 14th observed that Bhushan's tweets were not far and fair from criticism of the functioning of the judiciary itself made in public interest and held him guilty of criminal contempt. Now, India may soon get its first COVID vaccine in the markets as Serum Institute of India has entered phase 3 of clinical trials there of COVID Shield vaccine. In fact, the institute has signed a contract with AstraZeneca and manufacturer to this vaccine. For more on that, details in this report. Let's take a listen.
India's COVID tally has crossed 3 million mark. But amid the sharp spike in numbers, there is a ray of hope. India is most likely just months away from an effective vaccine against the pandemic. A top official at the Serum Institute of India has revealed to Business Today it can make its much-awaited Covishield vaccine commercially available in 73 days. The official said it will be possible as the government has given the company priority manufacturing license, fast-tracking the trial protocol to finish it in 58 days.
As far as the Serum Institute is concerned, it's going to be possibly ready in 73 days from yesterday and will be ready to produce about 6 crore doses per month starting December, January, and then going up to about 10 crore doses per month from April onwards. Government has asked them to provide something like 68 crore doses from just Serum Institute, and the rest will be probably procured from the other 2 vaccine candidates which are by Bharat Biotech and by Zydus Cadila, which are under development.
हम काफ़ी तेज़ी से सफलता की ओर बढ़ रहे हैं। जो क्लिनिकल ट्रायल्स में हमारे वैक्सीन कैंडिडेट्स पहुंच गए हैं, एक वैक्सीन कैंडिडेट जो है वो क्लिनिकल ट्रायल के 3rd फेज़ में पहुंच गया है और हमें, जैसा मैंने कहा, कि इस साल के अंदर अंदर ही हमें पूरा विश्वास है कि हमें सारे ट्रायल्स कंप्लीट होने के बाद एक इफेक्टिव वैक्सीन देश की और दुनिया की जनता को बचाने के लिए उपलब्ध होगी।
World's largest vaccine maker, Serum Institute, is conducting advanced clinical trials of Covishield vaccine, developed jointly by Oxford University and AstraZeneca. It involves 1,600 volunteers across 17 centers in the country. The vaccine maker later appeared more cautious and issued a partial denial. Calling the report misleading, it added it has got government nod to make and stockpile the vaccine, hinting that it will be up to the government to decide on mass use of the vaccine. The Modi government has already sought 68 crore doses from Serum by June next year and has decided to provide vaccination to all Indians for free.
भारत में 1 नहीं, 2 नहीं, तीन वैक्सीन उसके टेस्टिंग के अलग अलग चरण में है। वैज्ञानिकों से जब हरी झंडी मिल जाएगी, बड़े पैमाने पर प्रोडक्शन होगा और उसकी तैयारियां भी पूरी तरह रेडी हैं और तेजी से प्रोडक्शन के साथ वैक्सीन हर भारतीय तक कम से कम समय में कैसे पहुंचे, उसका खाका भी तैयार है, उसका रूपरेखा भी तैयार है।
Being Oxford Jenner Institute, that is in its third phase of trial that happened in the UK, taken to Brazil, South Africa, and now in India, where they have exclusive manufacturing contract with Serum Institute that tells us and comes up with brilliant news that these vaccines are just about a few days, or rather a few months away, and the days can be counted. There cannot be a better news than that for the world that has been on a halt thanks to COVID-19. Lavina Tandon for India Today from London.
16 districts of Uttar Pradesh are reeling under severe floods. Gonda is one of the worst affected districts of the state, as rising water levels in Saryu River has inundated large swaths of land, forcing people to leave their homes. India Today's Ashutosh Mishra brings you this ground report.
Flood mayhem across Uttar Pradesh. 16 districts of Uttar Pradesh are reeling under severe floods. Rising water levels in the Saryu River has inundated large parts in the eastern part of the state. Gonda is among the worst affected districts.
Most of these people who were living in low-lying areas were forced to take shelter on the embankments where the temporary arrangements have been made. The biggest concern is that there have been no respite even after weeks. It has been almost a month. The situation remains grim in these districts of eastern Uttar Pradesh.
Nakhara village in Gonda is completely submerged.
1.5 महीना हुआ पानी सर भी हटा नहीं है।
पानी है 1.5 महीने से,
1.5 महीना से पानी टिका।
तो आना जाना बाहर कैसे होता है?
आना जाना सब बंधा पर लोग टिके हैं और बड़ा दिक्कत है, सब रोड टूट गई है सर। ना सौर ऊर्जा है, ना कोई लाइट की व्यवस्था है, बहुत ज्यादा दिक्कत आ रही है।
गांव में भी है पानी, घरों में?
बहुत गांव में, हमारे सबके गांव में पानी इतना पानी है कि जगह जगह
घर के अंदर,
घर के अंदर से इतना पानी है। सामान खाने का यही मिला है, ये गल्ला मिला है।
सोते भी आप यहीं पर हैं?
हाँ, यहीं पे सोते हैं।
जब तेज बरसात होती है तब
इसी में कुछ किसी तरह से गुजारा होता है, ऐसे बैठ के गुजारा करते हैं। ये पल्ली मिला है, इसको देखो चूती है, कोई रुकाव नहीं है।
इसमें छेद है?
हाँ, इसका कोई रुकाव नहीं है।
Despite of all these arrangements, all these makeshift arrangements and the embankments, the water entered in the villages and they were forced to displace from their houses. However, as far as relief is concerned, this flood relief material have been distributed by the local administration and the government, but there are multiple villages almost all across these floodline, low-lying areas, those who have come here on the embankments living in these makeshift tents, and that explains how grim the life is. Be the women, senior citizens and kids, they are suffering worst in this calamity.
Although some of the districts in eastern UP are flooded every year, the situation this year is worse.
The biggest, the threat for the life is that there is no idea where is the road or potentially, edge of any pond or the lake in these villages. There are many villages in this district, including 16 others, which are flooded and almost submerged. Here, this is how locals commute from one place to another. Either there are country boats or buy food in this water, which is somewhere even up to 4 to 5 feet. Indeed, the life is in grave risk here in the district of Gonda.
The floods have destroyed standing crops, leaving the farmers worried.
हमारे क्षेत्र में कम से कम गन्ने का नुकसान, हजारों बीघे गन्ने का नुकसान हुआ है और कम से कम 1400 घर हैं, तो सब में पानी भरा हुआ है।
पूरा नुकसान हो गया, समझो 25% बकाया बचा। बाकी सारा
क्या कौन सी फसल है ये?
धान है सर।
धान बो रखा था आपने?
जी।
पानी भी 3-4 फुट से ज्यादा ही है।
5 फीट पानी था सर।
अभी घटा है थोड़ा जी। कितने दिन रहा इस बार पानी?
इस बार लगभग महीने हो गया सर।
Standing crops is likely to be spoiled. There is no respite from the flood situation, and looking at the level of water, hardly it is expected that in next 10 to 15 days it will recede further to bring some respite for the poor farmers.
Radhe Shyam's house has been transformed into an island. One can only see water all around. The family has moved to the terrace with the necessary items, hoping that water recedes quickly.
When flood water entered in these villages, many left to the embankments, but on the highlands in these villages, many left their cattle here for safety. With their all belongings, many displaced, but there are villagers who refuse to leave their home and take in shelter on the rooftop with their essential belongings to survive, keeping their family safe from the situation.
The help from the government has been inadequate so far. Relief for the residents of the village will only come when water actually begins to recede.
The havoc and degree of pain is that many are still homeless as their houses have been collapsed, taking shelter on the embankments. The relief and aid operation by Yogi government is being provided to these low-lying areas, but is that enough? With this question in the ground report in flood-affected Gonda, it's Satyadis Ashutosh Mishra reporting for India Today.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.